Again, welcome everyone. Want to send a special thank you to our chapter sponsors, Apex Systems, Strategic Systems, and Baldwin Wallace University. We have some preferred partners for education, Velociteach and Peak Business, and soon to be announced IIL, the International Institute for Learning. They will be a preferred partner soon. We have featured providers, so Baldwin Wallace offers professional development courses, project bites, and with your PMI membership, you have access to a ton of content on projectmanagement.com.
Joe, I'm not seeing your slides move if you're doing that.
All right, so I'm going to reshare. How about now?
I see him now.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Thank you, Andy. For this session today, if you could hold your questions for the end, Claudia is going to go through all the materials and likely your questions may be answered during the presentation. We want you to hold your questions for the end. If you feel the need to post the question, you may in the chat, and then we'll go through the chat room at the end of the meeting and verbally read out your questions for you. But if you could hold them to the end, that'd be great. Or post them in the chat, and then we'll read them at the end. And if you wouldn't mind, please mute your mics if they are on. All right. Well, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Claudia. She's going to do a great job describing her deep background in AI and technology, as well as give you today's content. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Claudia. Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much, Joe. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Okay, I'm Claudia Alcelay, and I'm not going to go through all those videos. And the important thing is that I would like to share that I'm a project manager, and I have been a project manager my whole life. I've been working for the European Commission for many, many years, and it was a moment when they told us, okay, you need to be certified in one, certification, and I did a bit of research. I really became fascinated about PMI, and after some years, I working at PMI and PMP and ACP and other certifications too. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay, is this one? Okay, good. And yeah, I think you have a. Can you see it now?
I'm not seeing it. Well, just a second. There we go.
There we go. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'm going to move this there, and yes, a second, please. I need to move this in here. Okay, so let's move everything there. Just working with different screens. Yeah, I was saying that, I'm Claudia, and, I'm going to guide you through this like hands-on presentation today. Since we presented this Infinity 2.0 1 month ago, it was in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm really happy because I'm presenting the functionalities of Infinity, and, people become really happy about that. I mean, knowing what Infinity can do for them. And I'll be happy to hear your comments and improvement messages, and also hear about you when I finish the presentation. Okay, so I want to give a special thanks to the Northeast Ohio chapter and to the entire team for making this possible. So nowadays I'm product owner for the Infinity at the Project Management Institute. And as I've told you, PMP and ACP certified has helped me a lot in the development of the product itself. And over the last years, I witnessed a significant shift from being AI user to leveraging AI to create real value. I'm going to refer to this value creation thing a lot during the presentation. So this is why presenting Infinity to you today is very appealing and important for me. So we are at a crucial moment where AI is no longer just a tool. We use it, but a technology that enables us to maximize our impact as project managers. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? Okay, in today's presentation, we will cover the following agenda. I would like to present you the latest PMI research, just has been released 2 weeks ago, more or less, on generative AI in project management. I think it's going to give us a perspective on how it is evolving from the last research that we launched like 5 or 6 months ago. Then an overview of the PMI by AI initiative, then Infinity demo. We are going to have a live demo. So some key lessons learned. So some of you who are thinking about developing your AI, I'm going to share some of the lessons that we have learned during all this time. There have been many. And then the Q&A session. So let's go through all this content. So this research is called Pushing the Limits and is the latest PMI publication. It is the second in a series aimed at comparing the evolution of generative AI in project management. Its purpose is to help project professionals overcome the challenges of self-directed generative AI use. So I think it's going to be helpful for you. It was, at least it was for me, and it is for me. So this publication is focused on generative AI. And some of you may be thinking that you have already been working in the AI world for a while. But there's a difference that one just wanted to highlight, traditional AI systems are programmed with specific rules and algorithms, while generative AI systems are trained on large data sets. So they learn to form new content by identifying patterns and creating new variations based on those patterns. So this enables generative AI to produce original creative content, okay? This research is based on generative AI. Okay, the first PMI research, it was called First Movers Advantage. It was launched around 5 months ago. This is what we call here wave 1, okay? So that you are going to see in this presentation wave 1 and wave 2. Wave 1 is this first mover advantage, and the second one is the new release. Okay, and it served and it helped us differentiate project managers by their intensive usage of generative AI in their projects. So it helped us divide project managers by explorers there on the right, then adapters, innovators, and trailblazers. So we consider explorers the ones that are in early stages of exploring and experimenting with generative AI, evaluating potential for growth. And they're supposed to use AI in 1 to 15% of the projects. If they don't use AI at all, we don't consider them here because we want to see the evolution of the AI implementation in project management. Adapters are considered those project managers embracing generative AI to a moderate extent, adapting to new technologies and incorporating them into their operations. They're using AI in 16 to 30% of their projects. Now, innovators are those making significant strides in adopting generative AI, showcasing creativity and forward-thinking approaches. And they're using it like in a 31 to 50% of the projects. And then the trailblazers, okay, at the forefront of generative AI adoption. They are pioneering new and innovative ways to leverage the technology using AI, okay, and they are applying AI in 51% or more of the project, so quite intensive, okay? So I just wanted to tell you this different, classification, because this is going to be the basis of the presentation in this, at least in this first part of it, okay? So what we can extract from this slide is that during all these months, okay, the percentage of trailblazers rose from 20% to 37%, while the other segments have decreased. Okay, this shows a shift in an AI usage focused more on delivering value. Okay, as I was telling you before, delivering value is the main thing now in using generative AI. Not just a tool user, but how to use generative AI to provide value and deliver value through our projects. Okay, in this second slide, what we see is that there has been a shift in how project professionals are driving adoption, especially at the task level. Not only are more users becoming comfortable with generative AI, but they are also finding novel ways to tackle increasingly complex tasks. We are comparing here the trailblazers and explorers only, the ones who were on the right of the presentation of the slide before and the ones on the left, more advanced and less intensive users of generative AI. Okay, and research reveals a significant divergence between explorers and trailblazers in how they utilize this technology. So initially, explorers and trailblazers showed similar uptake in introductory tasks such as communication or reporting. But now what we see is trailblazers used it in a more advanced applications in complex areas like planning, budget cost management, talent and resource management, and decision support. This also shows us something very, very important is that we can use generative AI in almost any task if it's going to be like another tool. But if we want to apply or to get generative AI being applied to your projects, you are going to start requiring your project management skills or all those that we apply to complex areas that are associated with project management, okay? After evaluating more than 18 industries, PMI focused on these specific ones, okay? IT, financial services, and consulting, because data show that these are the leading sectors for employing generative AI in project management. Okay, we see a decreasing number from wave 1 to wave 2 that can be explained by bettering distribution of explorers and trailblazers across industry. It's not because some industries are just not using generative AI, okay? It cannot be necessarily a reduction in the total number of explorers and trailblazers. And something that's quite curious too is that becoming a trailblazer in this area of project management means or entails not only increasing generative AI usage, but also engaging in ongoing iteration and experimentation to uncover its nuances and maximize its potential for innovation. So in both segments, a hybrid approach is leading the way with a significant decrease in predictive approaches among trailblazers, while the use of predictive methods is increasing in explorers segments, okay? I don't really know how to explain this because I would say that even if you are an explorer, you will need to be a bit more into agile or hybrid ones, but this is what data shows. And although trailblazers have positioned themselves to transform the project management work with generative AI, they require organizational support to fully unlock the technology's potential. I don't know if you are one of these trailblazers and you are already feeling the difficulties to bring this generative AI into one company, okay? Because you really require this organizational support to bring all these technologies' potential to your business, okay? So, however, the uncertainty surrounding qualifying productivity gains from using generative AI has led organizations to proceed at a slower pace. I mean, we can say that organizations are, in a way, scared. There are many risks that they need to be comfortable handling in order to give these big steps, okay? So according to our generative enablement rating, as you can see here, the number of peak organizations, the ones on the right, the ones that effectively support the use of generative AI in project management, this has actually slightly decreased since our first report. One reason for this could be because as project professionals, we have become more familiar with generative AI, and we have realized the depth of organizational commitment required. Probably our expectations for what qualifies as a peak organization have risen. This could be one of the reasons, okay? And according to a recent Microsoft and LinkedIn study, 60% of leaders express concern that the organization's leadership lacks a clear plan and vision for implementing generative AI application. Okay, so as a result, they say that many top organizations are unable to engage in the kind of development that could use us in system-wide evolution. Okay, found this quite interesting. Okay, we are becoming very we're having a realistic approach about our environment, about the companies and what is required. So as shown in this figure 6, okay, the gap between foundational and peak organization mirrors the same as the one between explorers and trailblazers. Okay. Foundational organizations primarily employ generative AI for tasks such as communication, reporting, and content summarization, rather than those more advanced tasks like planning and monitoring, data analysis, or risk identification, more related to peak companies. Okay, while individual project professionals have enthusiastically adopted generative AI, relying heavily on personal initiatives, it has also its own drawbacks. Okay, we can infer some of them. Boston Consulting study highlights the lack of AI and generative AI literacy in non-tech roles, such as that of project professionals in most of the cases, as one of the top challenges for maximizing generative AI's potential in the workplace. And it's precisely this lack of generative AI literacy that leaves project professionals vulnerable to the limitations and associated risks of using generative AI in the workplace. I'm going to present you with 3 challenges to show how a project manager can address them, okay, to maximize generative AI while positively impacting the organizations. I don't know if you are in this situation, but we can discuss further on this. Okay, and I will focus especially on the second challenge. You will see why. Okay. The first challenge that we see here is governance and privacy issues. We all know the consequences of misusing data, breaking confidentiality policies, or working with inconsistent data. What can we do as professionals? What can we ask to our companies? Okay, first of all, we need to inform a company how we're using generative AI, but we can also ask for guidance to our companies. And we can ask for training while the organizations work to implement their own governance models and feel confident with them. This is about governance and privacy risk. What about the second one that I've told you? Misinformation and hallucinations. Okay, this challenge is particularly important because we are using generative AI generated data to make decisions. And if this is not the right data, we can be affected by this misinformation or hallucinations. So the quality of this data will directly impact the decisions. And what can we do here? Okay, I think that there are many things that differentiate us from our profession from other professions. And I think that there is a moment we want to make ourselves, make our knowledge valuable in our organizations. Okay, 1.5 years ago, I was not that much into generative AI. I had taken one training at the MIT and I knew something about artificial intelligence, but generative AI was something completely different. It was just making us change our patterns. It was such an uncertainty, not only for the businesses, but also, for me as a project manager. I thought, wow, generative AI is going to, to tell me goodbye, Claudia. I mean, we don't need you anymore. What can we do? And I was researching for around 2 months, and I was in a very, nervous state of mind because I didn't know which was going to be my professional direction. And then I was going even to study something related with data, which is a good thing to study. Just thinking about shifting my career, I thought, wow, maybe I should study Python. I never studied Python or any other programming things, but I thought, yeah, I need to do something with my life. But then I thought, okay, I'm a project manager. I have some skills, I have some assets that developers, purely technical developers, might require when they are going to approach a project. And for me, this is one of the most important slides in the presentation, because all of us in this presentation are project managers. And I think that we should leverage our knowledge, and we should make ourselves relevant in any generative AI transformational process. Let's have an example. Imagine that we have our tech team developing a generative AI tool to manage lessons learned. Okay, who better than the project manager to lead them developing this tool? Okay, this is what I'm referring to. Just getting in contact with them, helping them in developing the AI, okay? So let's go to the third challenge. Okay, yeah, the wild west of generative tools. Okay, you go and there are so many generative AI tools that you don't know where to go. And just having one single tool often falls short for comprehensive project management needs. And we keep on searching and researching. And what can we do? I also like this one. The way PMI has seen that we can overcome this challenge is that sharing what we know. Okay, all of us, I like saying that all of us were on the same boat. We didn't know anything about 1 year and a half. Now we are trying to, to apply generative AI in different degrees. Okay, but why not sharing what we are learning? Just create communities of practice in our companies, bring some high managers there so that they understand what we are doing and share that, because maybe I'm going to share about one tool and another person is going to tell me, no, that the functionalities of that tool are overcome, but this one, why don't we use this one? And okay, this is going to help us grow also as a community of new users of generative AI. As a takeaway for this study, at least the information that I presented to you, okay, generative AI goes beyond adoption. You need to see how generative AI is going to provide value to your projects. That's one of the main takeaways. And the other one, okay, we cannot do anything on an individual way. I mean, we need from the organizational perspective too. Okay. So this is the first part of the presentation, and I hope it has helped you have an overview of how generative AI is evolving in the project management landscape. Let's move now to the PMI by AI initiative. Okay, and that's important to know about this because it is where PMI Infinity can be better understood. In 2023, PMI launched its PMI by AI initiative. It was like a holistic approach where all these offerings that we are going to talk about interconnect to support the mission to maximize project success. Each of these initiatives complements the others, creating an ecosystem that works together seamlessly. Okay, these initiatives include the thought leadership, and AI online trainings, courses, PI digital community, and PMI Infinity. Okay, it's also PMI also handled this AI for project managers from these different angles in order to provide different levels of entry to all of us. Okay, if I'm more a person who likes reading, going through a research, I'm going to go through thought leadership. If I really like exploring how to use generative AI in a real project, I will go to Infinity. Okay, and all of them complement the approach that PMI has. Okay, let's go just a brief description of thought leadership. I've already talked to you, okay, thought leadership resources are thought to be thought-provoking researches about strategies and recommendations for both professionals and organizations. If you are PMI members, you have all of them for free, okay? And you will see this PMI by AI initiatives is very focused on PMI members, and it's free for members. Okay, we have already talked about this one, pushing the limits, and a bit of this one, first movers advantage too. Okay, what about the trainings? Okay, we have 3 trainings now related to generative AI, and these courses are learning products covering AI topics in the highest demand and innovation. I can tell you I was involved in the first one, in this generative AI overview for project managers, and I think it was not more than 7 months since we launched that, and we had over 200,000 people registered to this training. And it's not just the number, it's the curiosity that generative AI has for project managers. We really want to know what is going on, if there is something for me here, how can I evolve, how can I apply this, and most important of that, how can I keep on being meaningful for my company as a project manager. So these trainings are amazing. Okay, so what about the digital community? I'm going to show you later on where you can go to this digital community. For us, is the ideal place to learn, to share, and to create a space to reinforce learning. Okay, let's go now to PMI Infinity. Okay, and we are going to deep dive a bit into this. Okay, this is the ecosystem where Infinity lies. Okay, in the middle of it, you can see the project professional. Okay, this vision has the project professional in the middle of all the things that we're building around that, around generative AI. On the left, you can see where all our content comes from. These are PMI's strong community generated knowledge platform and resources, what we call the knowledge base. And this knowledge base is powered by proprietary PMI content, community contributions, academic research, and domain-specific expert, like third-party providers with whom we establish alliances. Okay, this is where PMI Infinity is being fed from. Okay, so we have the core here is Infinity, and all the content is a knowledge base. Okay, we knew from the very beginning that this knowledge base was going to be very important for us because PMI is in the markets in the 60s from last century. So PMI has a lot of content and a lot of vetted and validated content. So we have the content, we have the engine, let's say our proprietary AI, and on top of that, we are building different tools that I would like to present to you today. Okay, tools and functionalities. Okay, I want to show you a bit of our roadmap. Okay, as of September 2024, we have officially launched PMI Infinity 2.0. The journey began in August 2023, just 13 months ago. So from March until August, we have been in a frantic race to launch Infinity 2.0 with functionalities specifically designed for project managers. But you have seen that the time has timeline has very tight. Okay, so in this slide, what we see is that the first 6 functionalities on the top, okay, these were the first functionalities that Infinity was launched with. Okay, it was built on community-driven content. It was featuring cited sources. I'm going to show you all of this in the demo. It showed recommended prompts and had a strong focus on data security. Okay, with the launch of Infinity 2.0, we have introduced these 6 functionalities down there and new features that I'm really excited to demo now. So we are going to go to the demo. I'm going to end the show, and then I'm going to start demoing this. Okay. Okay, am I sharing the screen?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yes.
We can see it.
Okay, so I'm going to demo Infinity and the new functionalities. And Okay, I'm going to put the expectations quite high because some people in LA told us this is life-changing. Maybe this is too much. I don't know. You will tell me later. Okay. So when you go, okay, most of you are PMI members, and I'm going to tell you where can you go to benefit from this Infinity and all the functionalities that are live since like 1 month ago. You come to PMI.org, you need to register. Okay, and then you can come to this resources side, and then in your resources, you go to the PMI Infinity tool, and then to the digital community. If you click in the PMI Infinity tool, you come here and you can start trying PMI Infinity. Okay, it's going to explain you everything that is done here, all the features, everything. Okay. So if you go to the community, this is a place where I really invite you to go and upload any question that you have. I mean, at the beginning of last year, this community was quite, reluctant to generative AI. They start asking like, are we going to apply generative AI in a project? Do you think this is going to impact my work? I'm going to be out of the market in some months. But now questions here are a bit more in depth. As I was telling you before, it's like this value offering through generative AI. So people are asking, could you help me with healthcare? And how do you apply generative AI? Or could you give me examples of templates that you're using? Things a bit more in depth. So I really recommend you to come here, okay? But now let's go to the functionalities. Okay, the first one, okay, if you go here to the left, okay, and you were already in Infinity before the last month, this is going to be more or less similar that you had seen before, but you are going to see some differences, are the ones that are going to highlight now. In the chat section, okay, now we are going to the chat section, and in the chat section, I'm going to show you 2 different functionalities. The first one is the templates download functionality. We're in the chat, and I'm going to write here, what are the main concerns with risk management? Okay, and Infinity is going to give me an answer. Okay, it's answering me. Okay, I consider a very good answer. Okay, it's going to tell me the sources. This is something I was referring to before. This is here from Infinity 1.0. It's telling you the sources. You can click in here. You can see where all this content comes from, and it's going to provide you some related sources. Okay, related prompts. Sorry, these prompts help you deep diving into the concept you have initially request about, and they are going to give you a broader perspective, maybe some nuances that you didn't, realize before. But the new thing here, the new functionality is the risk report template that you can download. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, if you click in there, you can download the risk report template. Okay, you can download it, you can save it, you can modify it. Okay. Another example of this templates download, imagine I'm writing what are key components of an effective meeting agenda. Okay, and then it's going to give me the answer, always the sources, always related prompts, but what else? The meetings checklist. So you're going to come here, you're going to download, to be able to download this meeting template, download, share, and save. And I have prepared here some of the templates that you can download now, maybe if it's of interest for you. If any question that you make about the risk report, pre-charter, pre-plan, communications, lessons learned, meetings, work breakdown structure, risk register, stakeholders engagement, estimating processes, pre-documenting, navigating complex tools for pre-managers, organizational readiness, and value analysis, project issues log, or requirement traceability, they are going to offer you the chance to download a template, which is quite interesting. We are just uploading more templates day by day, okay? But if you want to have a starting point, this could be a good starting point. So I was telling you that I was in the chat section, and I want to show you something very, very, very powerful in the chat section. Okay, you have here this clip here, this very small icon, but very, very powerful, I like saying. So imagine that you want to upload a document and you want to make some questions to the document. The document, by now, it accepts document in PDF and in Word, But you have, for example, an Excel document and you transform it into save it as a PDF document, it's going to be able to read through all the content in that Excel sheet, okay? So let's see here, okay, yeah, okay, then imagine I have this document, this is a free document that I have found, okay, and with this document, you see it's quite a long document, and I want to know, okay, with this RFP, maybe we're going to apply for that. I don't know. So I'm going to upload it and I'm going to ask something. I want the system to generate the risk register from this RFP. Okay, and the risk register. Oh, good. I have the document. The risk register is developing that for me. Okay, the identification, the risk description, the impact, likelihood, risk level, mitigation plan, the owner, and the status. Okay, so I say, I would like to ask something else to this. Now that I have this risk register thing, I would like to ask, based on this risk register, I want you to generate a communication plan to mitigate risk in this project. And then the system is going to create a communication plan with some communication objectives, the communication type, the purpose, frequency, audience, owner, and medium. Okay, and it's going to tell me, as always, the sources and their related prompts. Okay, so by now, we have gone through the chat section and we have been able to download templates and upload documents and make questions to them. And all the information that the system is being fed with is our own proprietary information. So it means that hallucination is quite low, okay? Now we are going to move to this section, the tools section. Okay, the tools section is also very an interesting one. Okay, and we are going to the project charter. If we go to the project charter, this one is ready by now, but the risk management plan and stakeholders plan is being developed. Okay. So, and the system is going to tell you, Infinity is going to tell me, okay, in order to develop a project schedule plan, you need to upload these pieces of information: general project information, scope and budget, milestones, risk and issues, and communication. But from all this information, there are only two pieces of information that are the summary and the project description, the only ones that are compulsory for us, okay? So let's go and build and writing the summary. I want to be a building or an eco-friendly building, quite simple. So a project description, very simple, building an eco-friendly building in the mountains. And let's see what Infinity is going to provide me, which project charter is going to provide me only with these two pieces of information. Maybe because I don't know more information, maybe because I want Infinity to get me some ideas to work on a project that I'm already doing. Or maybe because this is going to be done, for example, by a young person, young in your company, a junior person, and that person doesn't know what to write and you want them to learn. Or maybe because you don't want to upload specific sensitive information and you can upload that in your own computer when you download your project schedule. Okay, let's go here and we are going to the next one, and it's the project schedule and budget. We go here, next one, times and milestones. That was okay, risk and issues, and communication. Okay, no more information, only those two sentences. And then the system is going to tell me, do you want to submit this? And yes, I want to submit this information. And the system is telling me, download this document now, as it will not be safe for you later, to find later. Download the project charter document, and I'm going to click in here, and since you are seeing my screen, you can see that I have downloaded here, and I'm going to open the project charter. So it has a project and table of contents, and it's going to give me an introduction of background. You can see that it's a bit improved for what I have written, but the good thing is I can change it if I don't want it. So it's telling me which are the project objectives: sustainability, innovation, community impact. I can add all the ones, or I can replace these ones by the ones that I want. It's going to tell me about the scope, the exclusions, major deliverables, stakeholders analysis, project organization, even the stakeholders and milestones. Obviously no data because I have not written anything about the date when this should start. But what about the risk management? It's telling me about known risk, known issues, mitigation strategies, the communication plan, approval and review processes. okay, and benefits and justification, okay? So all this just with 2 sentences. Now, can you imagine how powerful this could be if we have the project schedule, the risk management, communications management, procurement management plans, and we can combine all them together? Okay, we are working on that, okay? And since we have 45 minutes, I want to show you one more functionality, but I think with these 3 are the main ones, and I'm going to show you the lessons learned, okay? But remember, you can find 2 of them in the chat section and the other one in the tools section. Okay, so let's go and view this as a presentation so that you can see it bigger here, and let's move to what we have learned from this. Okay, we have 15 minutes, so I mean some minutes in this, so we can go and engage in a conversation later on. So agile approach, okay, we adopted an agile approach with cross-functional teams comprising data scientists, developers, project managers, product owners, UX designers, and marketing experts. Okay, this approach was crucial in delivering the product, with design and development happening concurrently. I mean, we were all working at the same time because we didn't have time to really establish a procedure. So we worked agile, and it worked quite well. So what about our constraints? You can imagine that time was one of the biggest constraints, but another major challenge that we had to face was content management. Why? Because we discovered that all our content was scattered across many data platforms without consistent tagging or metadata. For Infinity, for example, we had to bring together content from various sources like PDFs, public websites, a learning library, member-only experiences, and we had to consolidate it. Okay, and we could only do that with the help of multiple departments. I mean, all the company was just focused on helping us. Okay, what else? Okay, we need to take early technical decisions, okay, because we didn't have time to come back. So the technical team in PMI is an amazing technical team, and they have the ideas very clear from the very beginning. So what we did is we ran on an instance of OpenAI's ChatGPT Omni. Okay, and we need to adapt to that, because when we started building this, we were in ChatGPT 3.5. So you can see that we needed to adapt everything to Omni, because we realized that it provided more accurate responses and deeper conversations. So we are hosted in Microsoft Azure, thanks to a strong partnership with OpenAI, and this allows us to work comfortably within our technology stack and retain full control over our data. So we ensure that none of our data is sent to OpenAI server, and our ChatGPT instances run on our own network with no data used for training models. We do not use data to train our models, okay? This is something that we also knew from the very beginning, okay? We decided early on to use a retrieval augmented generation, a RAG framework, to avoid custom model training and to ensure our responses are grounded in accurate, up-to-date content, okay? And to finish, I could say that improvement and testing. Okay, we have been testing, like experimenting with chunking strategies for source documents to enhance response accuracy, or we have also running semantic similarity tests, or conducted extensive AI A/B testing. But all this way of testing was quite manual, and we are now transitioning from manual evaluation to using RAG-AS, which means retrieval augmented generation agents for component level evaluation. So these are the learnings that I would like to share with you. You see that timing has been one of them, and also making early upfront technical decision has also been a challenge, and also working as a real agile team for developing products, learning products, which was not something that we used to do previously in PMI. Okay, we still have some minutes, and okay, I just can tell you that to wrap up, we are excited about what the future holds and how Infinity 2.0 will continue to evolve. Thank you for your time, and ready for answering any question you might have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Claudia. We do have a couple questions, or actually a few in the chat. Kathleen asked, did you say Infinity provided a charter after you provided only 2 sentences? Where does it get its content?
Okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what I exactly said. Okay, we have this RAGA system, meaning that we have a system that is able to detect just these 2 sentences, the topic that you have written there, the system immediately starts searching in our database. It's not in the whole world database, but only in this knowledge base that I referred to before. Okay, so with that, we are confident that the information we are providing is not a hallucination and is going to be fitted what PMI standards. Okay, so that's all the information where it comes from. Okay, I wouldn't say never ever that PMI is inventing the information. PMI is referring to the knowledge base that we have to suggest information that is missing in a project charter. Okay, if you want to change that because there are some nuances that you want to include, just go ahead, but it can help you start with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Joanne asks, what would be the best way to hold a hands-on workshop with our members? Like if we want to do a hands-on Infinity workshop.
Okay, you mean with the members, PMI members?
I'm assuming so.
Okay, yeah, I think that the best way is to go through your chapters as Joe and Andy have done. And this is a good way to spread the message. Yes, I can also tell you that at PMI, we're developing a set of materials that I don't know when, okay, we are thinking about distributing them to chapters that you are empowered to provide these presentations yourself. But I don't know when they will be, okay, ready.
Great, thank you. Joanne, maybe as chapter leaders, maybe we could do an email exchange and see if we can schedule something across the region.
Yeah, it just seems like a hands-on type of workshop, and I'm not sure who would have that expertise to really provide that training to people, but just really let people get in and try it, you know, in a guided way might be really cool and a great professional day, or you know, something like that, or an event. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree, John.
That
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah,
Yes.
let's do some emails, Joanne, with the other regional leaders, and maybe we could schedule something all together.
Yeah, ready.
Thank you. Kathy asks, even though the data is kept on PMI servers, any company data that's entered into the tool is available to PMI, or is no company data required?
Of course, there's no company data required. I have not told you, but this Infinity is a B2C tool, okay? It's not a B2B yet. So it's a B2C tool and it's targeted to members. It's a member benefit. So you are not required to upload any information. As long as you are a PMI member, you have access to this. No information is required. And you know, since I know that this is very sensitive, how do we use the data? I can tell there's a data policy in Infinity itself, but you can go through that. But I can tell you that all the data there is encrypted. We have no way to see who is sending information or which is the company. What the information that we are using is the topic that you are asking for, okay? Because topics are helping us to, you know, to shape the tool with interesting contents and resources for you, for the audience.
Great, thank you. I think Joanne commented back to the prior topic, who would have the expertise to train our members? Maybe Claudia, you and I could email offline and you can make a suggestion, and I can always submit another speaker bureau request
Yes, yeah.
for that. That'd be good.
Good.
Kathy has a question. What certifications are recommended for project managers?
You mean AI certifications?
I'm assuming so, yes.
Yeah, so I should have said it before. Do you know that we announced in LA that PMI has bought Cognilytica? Yeah, I'm going to share the page with you because this is a good place to start. Okay, PMI has acquired Cognilytica. I'm going to share my screen with you. Share, okay. And you can come here, okay, to be trained in AI. Cognilytica is a fantastic company that is targeted to pre-managers and is working with AI, generative AI, since many, many, many years. And you can come here. This is now part of PMI. Their founders are part of PMI. They're also helping developing Infinity. So it's integrated. So you can come in here and check any of the trainings that they have, and you can go and take them. You can take them and you can get the certification in this page itself. Okay. So this is a good way to get certified. Okay.
Claudia, I don't see your page.
Oh,
That
you don't see the page? Okay, yeah, I haven't clicked the last sure thing. Okay, so thank you very much. So this is Cognilytica's page, and Cognilytica is now part of PMI. So you can go scroll here. They have the podcast, they have articles, they have the CPMAI Successful AI, and you can take any of the trainings they have. So you can get CPMAI certified. You click here and you can enroll in any of the trainings, and you are going to be certified in this platform itself. Okay, it's not going to take you back and forth. So you can start with different. They have 3 different trainings. One of them is comprehensive AI and ML pre-management training. So this is greater depth, and this is more into ethical and trustworthy AI, and they are targeted to project managers. Okay. Thank you for this question.
Another question in the chat, are there any tools for portfolio review like scorecard templates?
Okay, no, there's no tool for that, not by now. No. I take it down, write it down, and I bring this to the developers now. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question for Michael, does Infinity provide any information from ChatGPT on a live basis, or does Infinity get updated from ChatGPT?
Okay, Infinity is not updated with ChatGPT. Infinity has its own proprietary content, and that content is not touched. This is clean content for us. We really trust this content. But your question is right. Imagine you ask about something that is not in our content, even though we are creating third-party liaisons now with really high content providers in the pre-management field. But imagine there's a content that is not there. In the source, you are going to see source powered by ChatGPT. So if it says PMI, you can be 100% confident that has not been touched by anyone and that we are happy with that content.
Great, thank you. Yeah, some comments about hands-on approach would be great. Some feedback, screen share. I dropped the link to the, I can't pronounce it, Cogni.
Cognilytica.
You can pronounce it better than I can, Claudia. Yeah, so the link's in the chat. Any other questions? We just got a couple minutes left in the hour. Want to be respectful of time. All right, so we'll wrap up. And if anybody thinks of any other questions, I mean, you can go through me. I'm going to send everyone here an email this weekend with these PDUs. I'll leave it up on the screen here for a minute. A copy of the video, a link to the video recording. We've recorded this. It's going to get uploaded to YouTube. You'll get a YouTube link this weekend. You'll get this PDU code, a copy of the slides. I'll do my best to grab some of the links that we dropped in the chat too, and put them in that email to you all. So if you've taken notes, great. But I will send you something this weekend. So this is the PDU code if you have a certification with PMI. And that's in the code itself. It's C number 0, and then the last digit, that last character there is a 0. We have some really cool programs coming up. We have our International Project Management Day at Baldwin Wallace. It's on November 7th. Plenty of room to register. We're going to be at the Center for Innovation and Growth again. Got an excellent speaker, Brad Brzezinski. He was with us a couple of years ago, and he's coming back for an encore presentation. We also have Visio for projects. We'll have someone talk to us about how they've used Visio to manage their portfolio of projects. And soon to be announced, it's saved the date for now. We're going to have a Cavs game on the 9th, but with that Cavs game, there'll be food and a panel presentation from leadership at the Cavs organization to talk about some of their projects and learnings over the past few years. So that'll be a really cool kind of combo event. We'll get to watch the game, but we'll also get to eat and listen in. We also have some other things in the works too. We got a military outreach event in a few weeks. We're shaping up the details there. So please keep coming back to PMINEO.org, visit our events page, and register. We'd love to see you again. And to my friends in the fellow chapters, feel free to attend whatever you like. If you're willing to drive to Cleveland or at least participate on our online activity, that'd be great. Here's some ways you'll get these slides this week, and here's some other ways that you can keep up with your PDUs. I want to thank everyone. Claudia, thank you very much. It was excellent presentation and wonderful meeting you. Anybody?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't see any other questions in the chat, but if anybody does have any questions, send them my way. Again, thank you, Claudia, and thank you all for participating today. Have a wonderful day.